Hello students, today we will learn 2 and 3 wheeler specification. So we have already seen vehicle specification and we have seen what are the factors which we are going to consider when we specify a particular vehicle. So which are the factors? So the factors which we have discussed are vehicle manufacturer name, engine specification, type of fuel used, transmission, clutch type, braking type system, steering mechanism, wheels, overall length, width, height, wheelbase, gross weight of the vehicle, and number of passengers for the passenger vehicles. So now we are going to take an example of a particular vehicle and then we will see how the specification is done for that vehicle. So here I have taken Suzuki Axis 125 vehicle. So this is Suzuki Axis. So how this vehicle is specified? So this vehicle is a single cylinder air cooled 4-stroke petrol engine. So first thing here what we are going to do is we are specifying the engine. So engine here has single cylinder which is air cooled 4-stroke petrol engine. So this is the specification of the engine. Now general specification which we are going to do. Specifications. So in specifications we will see the dimensions and the crab mass. So what is the crab mass? Crab mass is also called as crab weight. So this is called as crab weight also. Okay. So what is crab weight? So crab weight is the total mass of a vehicle with all the standard equipments and all necessary operating consumables such as the motor oil, transmission oil, brake fluid. So this mass not only includes the standard equipment of the vehicle but also the consumables like the oils which we are using in that vehicle. So I will first write the definition of crab mass or crab weight. So it is the total mass of a vehicle with standard equipments and all necessary operating. So oils are very necessary for operation of a particular vehicle and these oils are consumable. So I am saying operating consumables such as motor oil, transmission oil, then brake fluid, etc. So this is the crab mass. We will see the dimensions of the vehicle. So what are the dimensions? So first of all we will see the overall length. So here we are considering the overall length of Suzuki Axis 125 vehicle. So here the overall length will be 1780 mm. Overall width. So this is the dimension and crab mass specification. Okay. overall width will be 650 mm, that is 650 mm. Then overall height will be 1125 mm. Then the wheelbase, which we have already discussed, the wheelbase is nothing but the distance between the axial of front wheel and the back wheel. So that will be 1250 mm. The ground clearance. So ground clearance is the distance between the ground and the lowest frame of the vehicle. So this is the lowest. So I will show it with a different color so that we will be able to identify it. So here this is the lowest frame of the vehicle. So the distance between this frame and the ground is called as the ground clearance. So the ground clearance must be such that even when you come across some difficulties, okay, the frame or the vehicle should not get damaged. So it is 160 mm. Then the last one, that is the crab mass or crab weight. Crab mass of this vehicle is 112 kgs. So the total weight of the vehicles along with all the necessary operating consumables is 112 kgs. So now we will see the specifications of the engine. Now engine type. So what type of engine we are using here? It is 4-stroke, which I have already told in the beginning. 4-stroke, air cooled petrol engine. Then number of cylinders. Number of cylinder, it is 1 in this case, that is Suzuki Axis 125. Then the bore, cylinder bore, it is 53.5 mm. Then stroke is 55.2 mm. The displacement of this vehicle is 124 centimeter cube. Compression ratio of fuel required. So the compression ratio required is 9.6:1. Then carburetor. So what type of carburetor is used? It is VM18 and it is a single carburetor. Then air cleaner. It is non-oven fabric element. Then what kind of starter system is used? Starter system is electric and primary kick. So either it will be electric start, that is they say it in simple words as self-starting, electric and primary kick. So if it does not start by self, then we will go for kicking it. Then the lubrication system which is used. Lubrication system used here is wet sump. So this is about the specification of Suzuki Axis 125. The same way we will see the specification of a motorcycle. So here I have taken example as the Hero Honda Splendor 100. So we can see a bike. This is Hero Honda Splendor 100. So here, how do you specify this vehicle? So it is a single cylinder, air cooled, 4-stroke petrol engine, same as that of the Suzuki Axis. So it is single cylinder, air cooled, 4-stroke petrol engine. Now the bore and the stroke is 50 and 50 mm respectively. So both the bore and the stroke will be 50 mm. Then the cylinder capacity. Cylinder capacity is 100 cc. Cc is nothing but cubic centimeter. Then we have the engine power. So in motorbikes, we will check for the engine power, that is 7 bhp at 8500 rpm. So bhp is the brake horsepower and rpm is the revolutions per minute. Then we have the compression ratio. The compression ratio which is required for the fuel is 9.9:1. Then what kind of lubrication system is used? Lubrication system. So in Suzuki Axis we have seen that the lubrication was wet sump, but here it is a dry sump with oil tank internal with the crank case. So along with the crank case there will be a oil tank, crank case. Then the gearbox. What kind of gearbox is used here? So here 4-speed constant mesh gearbox is used. Then the crab weight. So we have already discussed what the crab weight is. So the crab weight here is 100 kgs. Then the wheelbase. So all these are very important factors which have to be specified when you are specifying a vehicle. Then the length is 2 meter, height is 1 meter. Then we have the brake system. So what kind of brake system is used? It is a mechanical expanding shoe type brake system. Mechanical expanding shoe type brake system. Then what is the type of chassis we are using? So the chassis used here is tubular cradle frame. Okay. Then the last factor which we are going to consider for specifying this Hero Honda Splendor is the battery. So the battery which we are using here is 12-volt with 2.5 ampere per hour. So this is about the bike or motorcycle Hero Honda Splendor 100. The next two-wheeler which we are going to specify is the Enfield Bullet 500 motorcycle. Okay, so here also it is a single cylinder, air cooled. So the engine is almost same for all the two-wheelers. 4-stroke petrol engine. So bore and stroke. So what is the difference between normal motorcycle and this Royal Enfield? So here we can see bore and stroke capacity is more in this Royal Enfield, that is 84 and 90 mm respectively, but in Splendor it was 50 and 50, that is both bore and stroke was 50 and 50. Then the cylinder capacity. The cylinder capacity is 499 cubic centimeter, but in the Hero Honda Splendor it was only 100 cubic centimeter. The compression ratio required here is less when compared to the Hero Honda Splendor, that is 6.5 is to 1. It was 9.9 is to 1 in Hero Honda Splendor. Then the engine power for Royal Enfield is 22 bhp at 5400 rpm. So engine power is also more or very high when compared to the normal motorcycle. Then we have the lubricating system is dry sump with oil tank integrated with crankshaft, same as that of the crank case, same as that of Hero Honda Splendor. Then the last one is the gearbox. So what kind of gearbox is used here? Here we are using 5-speed gearbox. So you can see there are different specification for different kinds of vehicles. So here the specification for two-wheeler and three-wheeler is almost the same. That is why I have given the heading as two or three-wheeler vehicle specification. Okay, so for different type of vehicles, for a simple motorcycle, for Enfield Bullet, and for Suzuki Axis, that is a scooter. So we can see how the variations are observed in different type of vehicle specification. So I hope you have understood the topic. Thank you.